may I ask, have you ever been to a gallery?
Of course not. And we're pitmen.
Most of we left school when we were 11, so there's a lot of things we didn't know. But that's why we come here, to find out about the world.
Yeah, we're not thick, you know. Well, apart from Jimmy.
It is based on a true story. These were actually pitmen who were painters.
We don't want to spend all day at work in the mines and then come up here and look at bloody cherubs, man.
And at one point they decided to have an art class. And that's where this begins.
You know, looking at the period of time, access for working class people was a very different thing than it is now.
The play takes place in the early 1930s, and it's about a group of men from Ashington, kind of northern England, and they're coal miners.
You did do art, didn't you?
I'm so terribly sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
You did do art, do you not?
Do you teach art?
Oh, yes, absolutely yes.
And also I think the fact it's set in an area of the UK that has this dialect, this really strong accent, which is, you know, fascinating to hear.
I'd like to buy it.
They get famous because it's kind of the first example of a group of coal miners, working class people doing art.
And so I think the audience will both be enjoying a piece of art as they watch it, but also really engaging with the question of who art is for. They're definitely going to laugh. If I do my job right, they might cry.
You can tell that they're already a tight-knit group as soon as we enter that classroom. And so I think a lot of the comedy comes out of just their ability to just chat at a very real level and critique at each other authentically.
There will be no nudity in here right now. You can't be running around with your clothes off, full stop.
I'm not ashamed of anything. I'm paying myself through art school. Besides, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the female form.
I agree, actually.
She's a woman in this era who's a little bit ahead of her time. She's paying herself through art school, working 2 jobs. She's a life model and she's comfortable with her body. And so I've found her very inspiring.
Audiences will leave and ask the questions that we've been asking up to this point. What is art? Who gets to be an artist?
Because we saw that art was not about the privileged.
It wasn't about money.
Or doing things the right way or a wrong way?
Art was a gift.
He did it for love.
He only sold one paint in his entire life.
And now they're gone for thousands of pounds.
Art doesn't really belong to anybody.
Not the artist.
Or the owner.
Or the people who look at it.
Real art is something shared.
Real art belongs to everyone.